Good morning, everybody. I'm Avril Martin, lifetime carer for my daughter Louise. On behalf of the Carers Social Group, I'd like to welcome you to our Leaving Home, Moving On Information Day for Carers. The Carers Social Group provides information, social activities and support for a wide range of carers whose loved ones are between 18 and over 50 years old. The one concern we have in common is what happens when we can no longer care for them ourselves or they wish to move on to their own home. This meeting would not be possible without our Councillor, Mariam, Lolavar, who arranged for us to have these wonderful rooms. So, Mariam, I'll go over to you.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction, Avril. And I guess also I want to say thank you to Avril, Vivian and the whole Carers Social Group and everyone who's here today. My name's Councillor Mariam Lolavar. I'm the Cabinet Lead for Health, Adult Social Care and Borough of Sanctuary. And when I first came into my role, one of the first groups I think I came to meet was the Carers Social Group. And it's been, I think, a real, I guess, eye-opening journey for me as well. I think everybody is aware of like the great work that unpaid carers do and carers do in general, but I don't think you really know the reality of it, unless, you know, I'm still learning. And I think for me, I was really blown away with conversations that I had with your Vivian and Avril, particularly around that, as a mother, that worry of like what happens to your children in the future. And it was a real shock to the system having those discussions. And it was something that I thought, this is a reality that people are really having to work through. So as soon as they told me about this event, we were really keen to support, because I think it's so important to have these discussions, and making sure that that planning is and that support is going in. And as a council, we have launched our kind of carers guide, our unpaid carers guide, and there's a lot of work going in with our partnership board, but it is very much about listening to carers, listening to support they need and seeing how we can be, I guess, best supporting as a council and listening and learning and improving. So very much really excited that this huge amount of work I think has gone into pull today together, and hoping there's a recording that can be shared afterwards. That's the plan. So yes, I'm just here to listen and yeah, enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Right, before we start, I need to give you this information. You will need this. The toilets, the ladies are on the left, at the end of the left-hand corridor, and the gents are on the right-hand. There's also a disabled toilet on the left-hand side. Fire exits, either side of the corridors, on the left and the right. Just go down the steps and then out of the main building. We're not expecting any fire alarm tests today. Right, the cloth bag that you've been given contains a plastic information folder giving details of today's presentations. We do need to keep to these timings, so please be seated when they begin. There are 10 minutes between each presentation, and you're welcome to visit the information marketplace in rooms 5 and 6 next door, which is through there. Also in this area are refreshments, kindly provided throughout by the interns from Brighter Futures Specialist College. They also have information stalled if carers want to talk to them about admissions. Carers can pick up refreshments and bring back if needed. Another gift in your bag is a post-it notepad and pen. Please do use them to let us know your views, feedback, questions and suggestions to take this work forward. They can be put in the plastic box with a purple lid near the door, which I will put over there. They will be collated and shared with you, the Council and Oxleas, with a view to actively working together to plan and achieve a happy and safe future. We hope you enjoy your day. Any questions, please ask any of our committee members wearing the Carers Social Group lanyards. The presentations are being filmed and will be available to view on YouTube in due course. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Joel Parker for our first presentation, Emotional Adjustment. Joel.
Okay, we're going to find our way with these microphones, so bear with us. It's lovely to be with you all. One of the parts of my job I most enjoy is getting to know not only clients but whole families, often over a number of years. So there's some people in this room that I've known for a number of years, and others of you, I'm really glad to be here with you for the first time. So with me today I have Nakkita and Hasan, who are two family carers. Maybe you both like to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's good to be here. My name's Nakkita de Silva. I look after, well, I'm a carer for my brother Ravi, who is 6 years older than me. He's 36. He used to live with us until 3 years ago when he moved into supported living.
Hi, my name is Hasan. I'm a carer for my son. He's 26. He got like schizophrenia and autism and some bad thoughts all the time. We were suffering with him since he was born. Now we moved to UK. Unfortunately, we were planning to have him better, but for culture shock, like it could get him worse due to our settlement and moving from house to house, which was very bad for him experience. So now he's in a settlement house, and I visit him almost every day.
Okay, and I'm going to be asking some questions to Nakkita and Hasan. We're going to be particularly focusing on the process of their loved ones moving into supported living and the emotional impact on themselves, but also their loved ones. Okay, so I'm going to ask a few questions to Nakkita to get a bit of an idea about who her brother Ravi is as a person and what his needs are, and then I'll do the same with Hasan, and then I've got some questions that I can ask both of you together, and you can kind of chip in as you would like. So I'll start with a few questions for you, Nakkita. So how would you like to introduce Ravi to everyone as a person? What are the qualities and interests that he has that bring joy to his own life and the world around him?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's really hard because there's so many great things about my brother that it's hard to choose one. I would just say that he's the type of person that lights up a room when he walks into it, and he instantly makes everyone's day better and makes them smile. That's not to say there aren't challenges with being his sister or his carer or family member, but Ravi's funny, he's cheeky, people underestimate him and he uses that to his advantage. He loves food, he loves music, he loves parties, he loves going to the pub. He is super social, and he's just really clever and funny and witty, if I'm being honest.
That's a wonderful introduction. And how would you describe some of the support needs that Ravi has?
So my brother he's not independent. He wouldn't be able to live by himself. He was overweight for a long time. He's autistic and he has learning disabilities. So he's quite vulnerable in terms of he wouldn't be able to make himself a meal in a safe way or handle money or like know the value of money. So he can get himself washed now that he's lost a lot of weight, and he can get himself dressed, but he needs prompting with like wearing weather appropriate clothing, or maybe just he needs support to just carry out like daily tasks basically, and he wouldn't be able to live by himself and look after himself. He's got a lot of emotional needs as well, I would say.
Thank you. And what are some things that are important to you and Ravi in terms of family life? For example, the things you value and enjoy together and with other members of your family?
Yeah, I think, so our mum passed away 6 years ago, which is why I became my brother's carer. And we didn't have a plan about what we should do if that happened. And I think that now our routine is built around, because for the first 3 years, my brother lived at home with me and my younger brother, and so we just became his carers. But now our routine is built around us being brother and sister. So we go out and, like, pretty much every week or every other week, we meet up. I take him for a walk down to Plumstead. We go to our favourite dosa place on the high street. We go to the pub across the road, and that's our kind of routine. But I think a lot of it with disclosure half Punjabi and half Sri Lankan. So a lot of our routine and ties to our family revolves around eating Punjabi food or listening to Punjabi music or going out and getting Sri Lankan food as well. So.
Thank you. And just a very simple question to a bit more context. How long ago did Ravi move into supported living?
Yeah, so he moved into supported living 3 years ago, and he moved into supported living because, unfortunately, my younger brother had an episode of psychosis, which I think was really just brought on because of the grief of losing our mum, but also because of having to care for our older brother and not really having a warning about it or having the knowledge to know what that adjustment looked like. He's fine now. We're all doing really well. But yeah, he moved in 3 years ago.
Thank you, Nakkita. I'm just going to ask the same questions to you, Hasan, so we get a bit more of a sense of who Omar is as a person and you and your family. So similarly, how would you introduce Omar to everyone as a person in terms of the qualities, interests he has?
Omar is always...
Maybe a little closer.
Sorry. Can you hear me now? No. Now good? Okay. Omar likes people a lot. He likes to wave to everyone, and this makes him feel loved. Sometimes we are in the shopping centers, and he waves to a person. This person ignores him. He makes him feel he doesn't love me or she doesn't like me. And he gets emotions. Sometimes he cries and makes him feel bad. So he's waiting for the next person to say hello. Now he's happy again. He likes shopping. He likes swimming, going to use the bike, ride the bike. And most of them is eating. He likes to go to a restaurant and try new recipes. And this is most of his hobbies. And I dedicate all my time, as per Dr. Joy knows, that our plans here are different than what we planned. Since he became worse, we changed our lifestyle to take care of him. And this affected all the family, not the one person, not him only, because his mother is always worried about him. She's having like panic attacks. And his younger brother, you know, if you have a big brother, always you depend on your elder brother, and they are like 6-7 years between them. So the younger brother is taking care of the eldest one, and sometimes he was being attacked by the eldest one, not being loved and taken care of. And this gave him some traumas, and he was, why I am not protected by my brother? Why should I take care of him, not him taking care of me? And this is like affecting him too. Even myself, I have now some issues like why my eldest son, who is going to be my supportive when I am 60 or 50 now he's 25, he should be like my bodyguard, as they say. But now he is still dependent on me, and it will continue. This is affecting the whole family. Even our relatives, every day they call, they ask about Omar, how is he getting better? And sometimes he tries to contact him via messenger. If someone not answering, he will break his phone and get angry.
Thank you, Hasan. And what are some of the important things to you and Omar in terms of family life, the things you value and enjoy together with other members of your family?
Whenever we go to visit him, actually, a minute ago, I was talking to him before the meeting now, video talking. He's always calling on video time, so you have to be available for him. If not available, that makes him frustrated. He needs you to be always available for him. Even when I'm at work, I try to take breaks to like 2-3 minutes to calm him down. I'm here, I'm not dead, because he thinks if I'm not answering, I am dead or I am in heaven now. And that is why I'm not answering. So you should always be available for him. Otherwise, bad thoughts will come to his mind.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned earlier, Omar has quite significant kind of mental health problems as well as his learning disability and being autistic. And how long ago did Omar move into supported living, so his current placement?
Omar been in supportive living for about a year and 2 months. He's feeling peace because when he was at the ward at Oxleas, he was with a different stage of patients. Some of them were very aggressive, some of them were quiet, some were like nice. But most of the time, he was trying to make friendship with a new patient who is already arrived and he's angry. So Omar tried to hold him, but the other one, he punched him. Not once, like several punches. We took him to hospital and this caused him trauma and make him also aggressive to everyone because he wants to defend himself. So when you raise your voice, he will try to attack you before you attack.
So yeah, just to provide a bit of context on that, Omar, initially when you kind of moved to the UK, you weren't linked up with learning disability services. So Omar wasn't getting support in that form, and then ended up being admitted to a mental health ward for a year and a half. And then it was when we got involved in the learning disability team that it was possible to set up a placement in supported living. And you're saying he's a lot more peaceful where he's living now.
Yes. Now, when he's moving to this house, he feels peaceful. He's not attacking anyone. He feels happy. He's smiling, not worried that when you move your hand like this, suddenly he will do this. Now, if you move any hand, he will be like not expecting any attack from anyone. And that makes him very happy.
Thank you. I've got some more questions now, and these ones are now we've kind of met Omar and Ravi and your families through those answers. These ones are more specifically about the process of kind of moving into supported living and the emotional journey for different people. These questions are it may be one of you wants to respond or both of you wants to respond, so we can just kind of find our way with them. So just a loved one moving into supporting living is a big process to go through. I think we'd probably all agree with that. For some families, there is an active decision, whereas with others, circumstances change in such a way that it feels like less of a choice. How would you describe reaching the decision for Ravi and Omar to move into supported living, and what factors influence this?
Start you?
I don't mind, you can start.
Okay. As a family, when they said we put him in a separated house, we rejected the idea because we want him beside us. We are one family. We don't want to dump him, not taking care of him. He will feel that we are not justice with him because we keep his younger brother with us, and now he is far away. So we rejected the idea, but since he became attacking his mother and myself, his brother, especially at midnight, like 2 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, he just wake up and he attacks everyone. He thinks we are not his family, so he thinks we have to go out of the house. So there was a balancing between this and this. Now he feels, he always asks to go back to the house. We said later we will bring you to the house, but it's still early now. It's still early. Because suddenly, when we visit him, suddenly he says, "Get out of my house. I don't want you here."
The question was circumstances about moving in, right?
Yeah, it was about kind of so how you kind of reached the decision that that was the right thing to do, or maybe the only thing to do at that point.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned earlier that my younger brother had an episode of psychosis, and that was when I realised that I couldn't look after my brother by myself. Because of my younger brother's psychosis, he kind of he left the house and he wasn't there frequently. So that's when I realised, that we couldn't keep Ravi at home. And it's a weird one because when my mum was alive, she always said that she wanted my brother to be independent, and that was sort of her goal. But we never discussed what would happen if she wasn't here. But me remembering that was kind of like a bit of a sign from her to know that he can go into supported living. At the time, I felt a lot of guilt, and I I felt a lot of pressure from my family. When my mum passed away, no one sat me down and said, do you want to look after your brother? It all just happened. And I was happy to do it. If anything, I think it helped me grieve because I had something to focus on. But I think I felt really guilty. I felt like I was abandoning him and I wasn't doing my job as his sister. And I thought that I just had like these visions of him being like abused, if I'm being honest. But it couldn't have been like further from what the reality of it was. And I recently went to a siblings carer group online by SIBS UK, I think, which is a charity. And a lot of us were talking about how we thought the person that we looked after and loved would not have a good time in supported living, but the opposite effect has happened where they've actually thrived and they're flourishing. There are things that my mum thought Ravi could never do, which he's now doing, and he's really independent. He lives with other guys. It's like a bachelor pad. Like, she would never have dreamed that he would be where he is now.
You've very neatly taken us on to the next question. So for a lot of families, finding service that they can trust is a big thing in of itself. What things happened to help you feel like you could have enough trust in the service that Ravi and Omar were moving to?
I think the language barrier. Omar is not speaking very well English. He speaks Arabic only. And some words for him like a trigger. When they say enjoy, he remembers someone in Syria named Juri. So they said enjoy, and he thinks about Juri, the girl. This is not common sense for him. So he is always asking, and I told him not to say enjoy, because we'll trigger something wrong with him. This is affecting him. The language barrier is causing him lots of confusion.
And Hasan, I was just wondering as well around how did you and your wife kind of develop enough trust in the kind of service that is now supporting Omar, because that's kind of a process in of itself.
Yeah, the team is very expert. They are very patient and they're dedicated. They always, as I see, Omar is always clean, smiling, happy. And sometimes he attacks them, but they are so patient with him. They hold him, they sing to him, make him very calm. And when I visit him, I feel that he's at home. He feels he's home. And they are his friends. They are like his bodyguards or protecting him in the street. When they take him like a walk, I walked with them sometimes. I walk far away just to watch. And I see that he's like me, feeling protected. And sometimes he's waving to people. No one is answering, so he starts to shout because he has some bodyguards with him. He feels family. It feels like family.
Yeah, I think I'd say the same thing for us. We had an amazing manager called Mel, who's no longer at the supported living service. But when I took my brother there to visit, she made us feel at home, and she let me know that I can come and visit whenever I want, and I don't need to call up in advance and say I'm coming. And she made it feel like we could just turn up, and it was we were like family. But also when I went there, I could see that it was clean and it looked like a home instead of like a really sterile kind of environment. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm aware of often there's kind of immediate family, there's extended family that maybe have different roles and views when there's an individual who's kind of vulnerable. And in terms of your loved one moving into supported living, did kind of everybody in the family agree, or were there different people with different ideas?
At the beginning, everyone was rejecting this idea. But for the safety of my wife and my son, we had to take this hard decision, because it's like he's abroad, like he's going to another country, because he's not living everyday details with us. We don't know Sometimes if you go, like a mother, she covers him when he's sleeping. So she said, he might be without cover now. How can I make sure? And this is extremely hard for her. But we had to do this decision for her safety and our safety.
Yeah.
Just a minute, I would like to say that during the night, we had to call ambulance and police for Omar because he's attacking everyone. And we can't control him. He is very aggressive and he's getting stronger. And we can't retaliate with him. We need to calm him down, but he's always, we don't want to fight with him because it will give him like a trauma. So the only choice is either to fight with him to defend yourself or to call the police. And that was not good for everyone, even Omar.
Yeah. I think that some of the elders in my family had this expectation of me that I should look after my brothers because I'm the girl in the family. And I'm like not the eldest technically, but yeah, the daughter, the eldest daughter. But I don't think anyone understands what it's like to be a carer unless you're in that position. I think I used to criticize my mum a lot about things that she could have done better. And until I was in her position, I realized how hard it is. And in that same fashion, when elders in my family were telling me that I should keep my brother at home and keep him close, I kind of just thought, you know, they don't have to do this, they don't have to go through it, and it's my life, so I have some power in the decisions that happen around it. So some of my family members weren't supportive of the decision, but luckily I have an uncle who is very supportive and very helpful, and he came with me to look at the places, and he kind of, yeah, supported me and my brothers through it. Yeah, it's funny, I just wanted to say that some of those family members who wanted me to look after my brother haven't gone to visit him since he's been in supported living. So I think I'll just make that point to maybe not listen to outside noise sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a very important thing to think about which voices we listen to and which we maybe kind of turn the volume down on a bit. And I guess I think you're both already starting to talk about what an emotional process this has been. And I guess maybe in terms of kind of the point of transition and the initial weeks of Omar and Ravi moving into supported living, could you say what that kind of initial period was like for you both and maybe other family members?
Because of the fact that my younger brother had psychosis, it wasn't an easy situation. We were kind of rushing to get Ravi into his place, but because of Mel, that manager, she made it much easier. Like, she supported me and she supported Ravi. And like I said, I had my uncle there, so we all kind of packed up everything for Rav and moved him in there. And if I'm being honest, because Rav likes new places and new faces, I think he enjoyed it and was happy to kind of be somewhere new and talk to new people. And I think I struggled because I think a lot of my purpose and identity at the time was built around being his carer. So I felt lost when he wasn't at home anymore because I didn't have to do all those things that were kind of keeping me going and through the grief as well. So I think the first few weeks that Ravi moved out were easy for him, thankfully, because of the staff members, but they were hard for me because I didn't really know what to do with myself.
Yeah, this is the same. What happened with us? Since he moved there, we suddenly have some time for ourselves. Because we didn't care about even our health. All the time we were dedicated to him. So this affected every one of us. So we started taking care of appointments, dentist, any regular life, going shopping together with his other brother. So our life came back, and we give his time for Omar and time for his brother. All the time was only for Omar. Everyone like 3 persons taking care of Omar, we felt neglecting the other son. The other son was being neglected because of his needs. So he feels inside, no one cares for me. We just saw him growing up quickly. Suddenly he is 15. And this is not good for him, I think. Now we are taking care of the other one. We are making up for him. We're doing it. Now he's going to university next year, wow. Greenwich University. So we have time for the family and we have time for Omar. And that's, I'm not regretting this decision to take him to this place.
I think when, Nakkita, when I was speaking to you about this morning's event, you kind of talked about the emotional process over 3 years on. It's still ongoing, really. It's not like you kind of, sometimes there's this idea of like a loss or a transition and then it's over. Whereas I think a lot of these things keep, you know, there's more and more layers and these processes keep evolving. So it's a question for both of you again, but yeah, I guess, yeah, where would you say you are at this point in the kind of emotional process? What are the things that continue to kind of unfold in terms of, yeah, what it's like to be living in this new arrangement?
Okay, thanks. What's the process like? I mean, because we had a really good staff member there, the first year was kind of easy, and I obviously had like this new kind of freedom that I hadn't had before, so that was good. I'd say, unfortunately, recently in the past year, the management has changed and the quality of the care and the service has gone down, and it's not so drastic that it's serious, but I feel like it means that I have to spend a lot more of my time chasing people up, chasing up the manager, telling staff that they should do what they're paid to do, and checking in on my brother and making sure that he's okay. So I think when my brother went to supported living, I thought I'm not really a carer anymore because he's not in the home. But actually, I still am. I still am there for him emotionally. Like you said that Omar messages you and phones you a lot. My brother does the same thing. And he sends me loads of voice notes when I'm at work. And so it's like, even when I'm trying to do something else, my head is still, with him. And it's the same thing. I have to respond to him, or if anything, I get anxious because I'm wondering, is he okay? And I would just say that it's a bit up and down. Sometimes when I hear things from my brother about maybe agency staff members, it makes me want to go there and just pull him out immediately and bring him back home. But that's not a sustainable option for any of us. And I kind of worry because I'm not sure if this problem will ever go away. I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to really, truly relax because someone else is looking after him, and I have to make sure that that person that's looking after him is doing their job properly, unfortunately.
With Omar, the first 3 months, they were very hard for everyone because people there, the agency, were new people for him. So it was like a trauma for him because he doesn't know any one of them. It was like people from space coming to him, and they said, we are living with you now in the same house. We closed the door. He said, this is a prison, not a house, because I can't go out. I can't go to the shower by myself. They should go with me. They helped him to have shower. So he was rejecting them the first few months. Then he started to know their names and their personalities. And they tried to understand his character also because now they anticipate his reaction for every accident will happen. And they know when he's angry how to make him calm, and when he's sad how to make him happy. Now in the last few months there is an issue with the staff. Like there is some issue with replacing the staff. They bring new staff now, and this caused Omar, like last month, a trauma because these are, again, new people. They know nothing about Omar. They read the notes only, and they don't know how to deal with Omar. So when I went there, I see they are not like the previous people. First, they don't know, there is no emotional connection between them. And then they don't know what to do when Omar needs anything, because they are still learning Omar. And this is causing him another trauma. He fights with them, they try to defend themselves. And he said, they are hurting me, they punch me, whatever. I don't believe, because I went there, he's very good. But maybe because he was trying to attack, they hold him, he thinks they are attacking him. So I mean, changing people for these cases is not good, because he's a stranger for him again. That will give him more time to make friendship with them. So I asked the agency, and they said we will bring the old people now again, and we'll deal with it. At least keep one old, one new, so they will teach each other, not two fresh people in the same area.
Thank you. And I think you've said a little bit about Omar's kind of emotional journey at this time. But in terms of Ravi, you said initially he enjoyed kind of moving in and the novelty. I can picture that, knowing Ravi relatively well. Yes, in terms of where would you say how is he making sense of things now that he's been in supported living for quite some time?
Yeah, I think he's enjoying the freedom and the independence. Like I said, he's doing a lot more than he would have if he was at home, because we're so used to looking after him sometimes that we wouldn't even let him do things that he is capable of doing. I think day to day he enjoys it. I think he enjoys the freedom. I think he enjoys not having me being like a bossy sister and telling him like you should clean your room or you should wash your clothes or do something. I think, generally as a whole, I think he really does enjoy sort of being by himself. But I know that he also really misses living at home. And when he does come back to visit, the next day when we drop him off, he gets really emotional. So me and my brother try and see him in his place more than bringing him back home at the moment. I think I just kind of know that deep down, I think he would prefer to be back at home because that's his like security blanket. But I also think that he's an adult and he's a man and he needs to build resilience as well. And I think he's doing that in his supported living place.
Yeah, I don't know if that kind of anything connected in terms of how Omar's finding things that, having been just over a year in supported living now.
He's trying to be independent, but not everything. He's trying to have the shower, and he asked him to stay out. I can shower myself, but he doesn't know how to clean himself well. Even for choosing clothes, he just wear anything. Sometimes backward, frontward. So he needs supportive or someone to supervise him to do this. Omar wasn't like this when we came here. I would like to say something in the back, so to show us why he came here. He was not very good mentally and some autism, but he was abused sexually in Egypt. And that is why we moved to UK, because of UNHCR. While we are in the process, we were coming like here to the council, any council in England, in London, and they asked us, what Omar likes. We told him he likes to go to the mosque, because near our house there is a mosque, which make him very calm, like going to the church. They said yes, everything was good for Omar, and the hospitals were near, schools near. Suddenly, at the last moment, at the British consulate in Cairo, they said, you are being selected by Hillsong Church to sponsor you. We didn't know the difference between the charity, church, or the council. And we had no option, because we just want to leave, take Omar out from that area to safe haven, to get him better. But since we arrived, the church, like giving you their own houses. So one of the members of the church is living in Jordan, so he offered his house for us, like 2 years. We didn't know the plan. Other people who came through the council, they came from day one, council house, settled. Until now, the same house, they don't move. So Omar has this trauma because when he moved there to UK, the church gave us only accommodation, nothing else. So Omar needs attention, needs psychology treatment, needs to get better. They say we don't know. And I was a stranger here. I didn't know how to connect. I went to the council. They said, no, you are with the church. Which make me like spend a year looping. And then this day by day, Omar became worse.
I think, again, that links in with the next question quite well, because it sounds like when you arrived in the UK, you didn't have the help you needed and support you needed as a family, and specifically for Omar. I guess, has there been any support that Ravi and Omar and you and your families have received to make the process of moving to supported living easier? So this could be from friends or extended family, the service they've moved to, CLDT, or anywhere else. So what's been helpful to you and your families and Omar and Ravi through this process?
Joel Parker's been very, very helpful for us in the process, if I'm being honest. You know I'm going to be biased, but it's because of people like you who work in these fields, who actually care about people, that we have had a smooth transition. Like, even more recently, my brother's still struggling with his grief, and it's something that's reoccurring, and I couldn't get any support, so I emailed Joel and I said, I think Rav really needs some extra time with someone, and Joel managed to get Rav some art therapy, and Ravi and Faz, his art therapist, made this really beautiful collage with pictures of my mum and pictures of butterflies and hearts, and I know that Rav really finds a lot of comfort from having that above his bed and looking at it. I'm lucky because I do have a good support network. We've lived in Greenwich all our lives, so our neighbours look out for us. Rav regularly goes to the same church, New Life Church in Greenwich, so his church family, extended church family, have been very helpful for him and helping him with his grief. We have loads of friends that are around that pop in to check in on Rav sometimes, or to take him out. Even yesterday, one of our old neighbours went and took Rav to Pizza Hut. So, yeah, but honestly, it really is because of people like you, Joel. So, yeah, thank you to Joel.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, but should we came through the council, I think Omar would have been taken care from day one, and being not living outside. I just met you in 2024.
I think it was, late 2023, I think.
At the end of this year. So we already spent 2.5 years struggling with Omar and getting him worse, because the church said, we have nothing. We have houses they got 5 families, as I know, from the church, one in Newham, one in Croydon, so it depends on their circumstances. I don't know if I came through the council, on which council I should come, Greenwich, any council, I don't know. But the plan changed at the last minute, which is affected Omar. We came here for Omar, not for ourselves. We came here to get Omar better, but unfortunately he's worse. And we are trying to get him back. When he came here, he used to ride the bike by himself. He goes and come back to the house. He didn't get lost. He ride the bus and come back. Suddenly he changed because no one took care of him from especially medication. He has some medication in Egypt, and they told us when you go to United Kingdom, you should review the medication and update it. But nothing happened. So that's what's caused him I think this is the reason, not when he arrived here, he should get better, because he was very happy at the first few months, and then suddenly he got worse.
Thank you. And is there anything, I know things are still difficult, is there anything that has made things a bit easier for Omar and your family along the way? Like any support that's helped from any services or anywhere else?
I think activities for Omar, activities, because they take him to some activities which he is not interested in. Like they take him to a swimming pool, but he doesn't swim. He knows how to swim, he knows how to float, but they just took him to the swimming pool and show him how people swimming. Like if you go to a restaurant and someone shows you how people are eating, but you should watch, not eat, and smell the food. This is not good, I think. They take him to some music and jazz, dancing. This is happy for him. And he likes taking like walk. They took him to walks. But I'm just talking about swimming. This is not the right way to take him to a swimming pool. He likes all the activities they do. When I go there, I took him a ride. I took him to sometime. I take him out, take him to a restaurant. He likes KFC or McDonald's. Sometimes he likes shawarma, which is Syrian food. We take him to another area. He enjoyed, and when we get him back, he just say goodbye, see you tomorrow. Now he feels home. It's his home now. But he's eager to go back to our family. And we asked the people or the specialist, can we just have him visit us in our house for a day or two to feel in our family? They say, no, not yet, because he might like it and he will stick to the house and he will refuse or reject to go back to his house. So this is like a war.
I think on that point, it's probably important to say it's quite unusual that would be kind of recommended. I think it's probably more to do with Omar's kind of mental health and his learning disability that was a recommendation that just, yeah. Just also to say, Nakkita's very flattering comments, but I think there's a lot. I think one of the things that makes me think I'll work in Greenwich for probably most of the rest of my career is there are a lot of not amazing clients, amazing families, but also I think there are a lot of practitioners who really work with their heart, where it's not just going through the motions of doing the immediate task, but where they're invested in people. And I think something that really sustains me, and I think many of us, is when you can kind of travel through life with clients and families. You know, I think not always that you're necessarily working directly with them, but people email you or update you about what's happening, and you can really see how people are growing in their lives, and you know, when they have challenges, how they can find a way around those and keep moving forwards. So we've got a few minutes left. I'm just looking what questions to focus on. I guess, what advice would you give to other families considering a loved one moving into supported living? So you've both been on this journey with lots of ups and downs, but you know, the one or two things that you might advise or offer.
I'd probably say maybe like manage your expectations. I think that you should try and do as much research as you can, ask a lot of questions, and just, I guess, be prepared. Your role is different. You're still a carer, but there's just a different kind of demand now on your time to maybe manage their finances or make sure that they're being looked after or they're doing their activities. But I think just know that you shouldn't feel ashamed or like you're letting your family member down because you're putting them in supported living, because just as much as you have a right to your own life and to be happy and be your own person outside of your role as a carer, the person that you care for has a right to be their own person outside of their mental illness or their disability or whatever it is. And them stepping outside, flying the nest, not being at home is their opportunity to understand who they are as a person and live their own life, and it's your chance to do the same as well. And it doesn't make you any less of a good parent or a good sibling or whatever. It's a mutual thing where you love that person so much that you're letting them have a chance to experience life. And I think that the people that you care for, whether they can verbalize it or not, love you so much that they want you to have your own life as well.
Well, at the beginning, as I said, we didn't expect that Omar will go to supportive living. We didn't accept the idea, but people were saying eventually Omar will have to live with a supportive living, and we rejected it for several months. But after negotiation with Greenwich Mental Health, Dr. Sarah there was, and Dr. Joel, they advised us and they showed us how he will be living. So I was convinced. They showed us what will be available for Omar. And I went there, I saw the house before Omar moved there. It was great. So I approved it, my wife and I approved it. And I still advise people in the same condition to be in supportive living due to himself or the family members to look, because I am not always the time have the power to stand with him all the time, to support him. Sometimes I'm tired, I need to sleep, I need to do an appointment. And when I take him to the street, he's trying to attack people. I can't hold him myself. So when he goes with the supportive living, at least there will be two big persons who can control him and direct him where to go and force him to go to the taxi or to the bus. This situation happened to me several times in a bus or in a shopping center. He was shouting at people and I was unable to control him. And I was worried that people would be offended by this action. Now I feel he's good. He is good.
I've got one more question, which is, what are your hopes for Ravi and Omar and yourself for the future? Big question, so maybe a short answer, but...
Should I go or do you? Yes. I just hope that Ravi can get to a place where he can manage his grief and he can process it a little bit better. And I hope that he can be somewhere where I think life is full of ups and downs for anyone anyways, but just for him to have a bit more consistency with his quality of care, and just for me and Ravi to keep having the relationship that we do, and for him to always be a part, like a huge part of my life. But also, I think as time goes on, I would like to be able to have a little less demand on my time in terms of having to chase up staff members all the time and make sure that they do their job. But yeah, my hope is just that Ravi continues to progress and enjoy his freedom and just live a very rich life.
My hopes for Omar is to come back to live with us or to be in his first day arriving here situation mentally. I mean, he was better mentally. I wish he can get better and go back to our family. For the future, I hope he can leave this accommodation or supportive living and live with us normally. We can take care of him if he is in the same condition when we arrived. This is our dream, to get him back to his normal.
Okay, I think that's probably a good note to finish on. I think just say a huge thank you to both of you for coming here and sharing such kind of personal and powerful stories. It was a privilege to hear them from myself, and I'm sure everybody here. So I think it deserves a round of applause.
Yes, I'd also like to thank you all for coming and giving us such an insight into your emotional journey that you're going through. And I think it does highlight the need for consistent staffing and monitoring. You shouldn't have to be chasing things up. They should be doing their job properly. And I think that's down to the people who commission these services that that is undertaken.